Dress code. You don't know how many times I had to look and review the dress code, to be working more professionally, since my ladies, they all dress up really nice. But there's some things in order to be safety precautious as well. That was my main focus on that. And then, of course, hopefully trying to get it involved and executed by October 1st. Okay?
I'm sorry, what was the last one?
To execute to start the new handbook on October 1st. My apologies. Okay, so in correlation with Ms. Bianca, with the new website that we're coming in, we're researching and we're trying to get technically innovative. So we're gonna start doing the application pro. That is now an online, all line, you have to apply online. We're gonna have access to be able to, help me because I'm not technically inclined here. But we're gonna try to get this all done online, which is gonna help me because I'm having to deal with, sometimes with the EOC and having to deal with requests for applications and everything else. And then finalizing, how you say, bringing it down to each position, asking questions, if they qualify for that position or not qualify for the position.
What's really cool about this application is that everybody's able to do it via desktop or their phones. So with this, it reduces the traffic. They don't have to come into City Hall to pick up an application. They don't have to go through the drive-through to pick up an application. They're able to do it. A lot of this is very, it's really smart, the application. It can do a lot of things. A lot of it, we are still kind of keeping a little bit old school by wanting to review it, herself and stuff like that, because it does have the capabilities of, hey, you didn't make this first cut, these are out the window, and we're moving on to the next set of candidates. It's to be more time efficient when it comes to reviewing the applications, but, we're weighing the pros and cons of all of that. But
And it'll help me with the application, keeping a track on it. And then also the department heads will also have access to the application. I don't have to call and say, hey guys, can you wanna meet with me? Let's go over the applications and see which ones qualify and see where we can eliminate or interview them all. That's gonna help. The recruitment also, because it's also including Indeed and other entities that are free, that is a part of this package that we have. So it's gonna help me spread out like I do with TML, but it won't, they're probably gonna do with TML as well. They're gonna probably be able to pass it on and advertise it, because it'll take time for me. Like I said, I'm by myself and, no offense. I need somebody by myself. But yeah, this is gonna help me track and be case managing better. This is gonna help me eliminate all of those other things that are on there. Qualification screening, seeing if they qualify, if compared to the job description, it's all gonna help me out a lot. So, that's what I'm excited.
We hope to have the new website running by, we're doing this, we hope to have it running by
November.
November, okay, sorry, November. We anticipate some good things coming out of the website and other technologies.
Any other questions?
I only have one question. What's your recommendation on that vacation sick policy that you wanted to implement?
Mr. Ray?
I think,
Say it again, sir.
What's your recommendation? What is it that you're recommending on that vacation?
On the
buyback?
vacation buyback, because we have a cap, there's really no cap on vacation or sick leave. So we need to cap that first. With the vacation pool is like if you have at least 40 to 80 hours, we still haven't decided which one, to buy back 40 hours per year. If not, if possible, twice a year, but only if the budget lets us.
budget, please.
Yeah, so the sick pool is, if you have how many hours, sir? 1 hour, 2 hours?
If you have to have a minimum threshold of hours, so in essence, you have to have, I think it's a minimum of 80 hours, to have sick time, and then you could donate it to your sick pool. What we run into here, is when folks are out, we have some now, that, they've exhausted all their sick time, they've exhausted all their vacation time. All we're trying to do is create a pool. If somebody participates, they can use some of that donated time, if you will, to help with their problems. I mean, as far as, because again, when they have sick vacation time, there's no pay. There is no more pay. There are other benefits, but there is no pay from the city. And then the other one that we run into is whenever there's no pay, is paying the insurance premiums.
Yes.
Is the other challenge we have. So we do want to create a pool. The other piece that we run into is when people leave, and it's happened here, I think it happened with our former police chief, there was a lot of sick time that was left. So meaning, they don't get paid for sick time. Historically, we have never paid for sick time. So all those sick hours are just out there. And again, we pay for vacation time, which is, again, what we're trying to do is establish a threshold of how much we need people to take off during the year. At the same time, if there's some sort of a buyback of 40 hours or 80 hours of buyback, if there's a way that we could incentivize and pay that on a yearly basis. I know it's an ask, and we're asking for it, but on the other end, we do have employees, and there's not very many of us. How many people would qualify for the buyback right now?
Right now,
How many total? I don't know.
11.
11?
11 with the high vacation leave they have left over.
11.
They have a lot.
I didn't think it was that many, but okay. You have a total of about 70, 80 employees, 11 of them would potentially qualify for a vacation buyback. And what I mean by that is the other 60 to 70 employees don't have the hours built up to sell anything back. So those are the incentives that we're looking at. But again, it's budget permitting. We are not committing for sure this year to doing that. It is in the budget, but we know that, I'll tell you this when it comes to mine, we know that there's gonna be cuts.
So you have 11 employees that are over their 40-hour vacation? 80
Yes.
hour vacation?
Between, 150 but then I have like about 6 of them that are over 300. You know what I mean?
How much are
it's-
we talking about extra within the budget if you were to pay out all those hours?
No, we're not.
No, not all.
Part of what we're gonna do is that we're only gonna allow a certain amount of hours to carry over from this point on. So there's 3 things. You have to allow just for carryover, allow a certain amount. You have to say, you're gonna have to take this time, and then we allow for a minimum of buyback. If it's allowed, we can do it. If we can budget, great. But the goal is to minimize and lower the threshold of how much vacation time we're allowing people to carry over. And at the same time, we're also trying to, again, part of that, what I tell the departments, and some of them are here, so I have to be a little careful what I'm saying. No, I don't have to be careful, but they have to make time to take vacation, including myself. We have to make time, whether we think we don't need to or not, we'll say, make the time, and none of us are that important, to be honest with you. That's the honest truth. We'll have to make time, and that's just the way it is.
And I hear that every single day. So it's part of the management part of it, to allow your employees to take their vacation time.
We've
And we
been,
know we tend that it's busy, and we understand that, but then you have to face these situations, and it gets expensive.
yes, and they've been aware since we started working on the handbook, because that was one of the biggest things that we
Yes.
wanted to do. I started telling them now since last year, if you've got hours, take them.
Some of them are, some
Yes,
people
they are,
are.
most definitely,
Yeah,
they
like
are.
us, like myself,
reduced
I
it.
have by December 31st, if you don't take your vacation, whatever's over the 40, you lose it. You have till December 31st to take that vacation, and that's just point blank.
Let's just say that it's been working with us telling them, they've been taking it. So they need vacation time off.
So on this department, Fred, I see an increase in employee incentive. What's that incentive?
Which one?
It's on,
Human resources?
yeah.
It's the one-time pay, and I'll discuss that when I go up there, I'll
That's a
discuss
one-time
kind
pay.
of the
I think that's the
overall.
only incentive that's, you give me a chance, I'll go over that.
Okay, let's get to that now.
Who's next?
Thank you. Okay, we have,
Thank you.
next,
Yes, sir, thank you.
flow chart. Is that right? Flow chart?
HR, the flow chart, I'm sorry, we didn't.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Geez, this is, no, this is the information, this is subject to change as well, but you may wanna just go over. I forgot to add one more parks person and one more right of way. So there's a total of Which
83,
we're being requested.
proposed,
What you see in yellow?
It's
Yes.
proposed.
it's proposed,
Yes.
it's
Okay.
proposed, because I forgot to add in, my apologies, the
So
right of
start
way and the parks.
swiping X's.
So yes, the Assistant Public Works we're gonna, proposing for that position. We're removing one of the gas that was not rehired, it wasn't replaced.
Mhm.
So we removed one gas person. And through the grant with PD is the two,
Two
PD, police
officers.
patrol officers.
Mhm.
Okay, so you'll need to add one park maintenance and one right-of-way maintenance worker
As
As
proposed.
proposed.
As proposed position.
as proposed.
83 is gonna be our total number.
Yes, 83 will be the total numbers.
The other ones are lateral, the other ones you see are lateral moves, they're not necessarily adding positions.
No, it's just it's changing the title.
Under finance.
Under
That's-
finance.
That's just a change of structure. Is that anything else?
Questions, council? All right, thank you very much. All right, moving on, we got admin.
All right. I don't have any of my stuff. Crystal, turn that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
How y'all doing?
Good,
No,
good.
Good.
It's early still, we got time to get it under control.
Again, I won't get into all this stuff, in every detail, you guys, again, I'll put this in your packet. Part of what we're focusing on, council, just so you guys are aware, and part of what Bianca mentioned and others, the things that you see, your second bullet point there, this is stuff, and again, thankfully, there's folks that we have now that are on staff that are helping with some of the things that I was dealing with on a day-to-day operations, to include permits, all this other stuff. But the focus there, and what I'm understanding from the city council, is economic development, grant funding, execution and financing of infrastructure and housing, are the four things that I will be focusing on as your city manager, okay? I'm not suggesting that I won't be involved in other things, and don't misconstrue that. But that's what I'm gonna focus on, this year, but I do need the help. Part of that is gonna be through Bianca and others. Crystal, there's other people that help, don't get me wrong, we're looking for records. Crystal should have all of the records, and a lot of times she does. History and research, a lot of the time we have to refer back to Crystal. So you guys are aware, again, these are the current people that I can think of. I may have forgotten somebody, but I don't think I did. These are all the groups that we're working with that are involved in some form or fashion with the city. We have EMC Strategies for grant funding. They're helping, this year they'll be helping with the Texas Parks and Wildlife grant, that we asked for permission to go out to get that, to see if we could. So that grant application will be submitted this coming week. There's also a couple other grants we're looking at. GrantWorks is also helping us with the $2.7 million that we're doing for the grant that we're supposed to receive from GLO, and that grant is gonna be to pay for a water well. So that's $2.7 million there. It's not a competitive grant, so we know we're getting the money. And as the mayor can probably attest to, just because they're not competitive doesn't mean there's not work behind doing all the paperwork that it takes to get the grant. It is a insurmountable amount of paperwork. It is a lot. The mayor has been involved in meetings with CDBG here recently. Ms. Moran's been helping, and others with this, but it takes a lot to not only apply, but to get the paperwork and ultimately administer the grant. Langford Group is helping with a home grant, as y'all recall. That's for 10 homes that we're looking at for a grant for that. That's a grant that Ms. Moran is also helping out with. But they're the group. Carlos Colina Vargas is working the CDBG grant. That is $240,000, I believe, that we're working on. That's gonna be for a bar screen that we're looking for at the wastewater treatment plant. So that's another project. CDM Smith is helping right now, and what you'll hear next week is for the financing and the administration of our water and wastewater line. That is gonna be, you will see the price tag next week, and let's just hope that, we have a lot to, I don't know. There'll be discussions, I'm sure. So CDM Smith is helping us with the engineering, and so is YPR Engineering. Ms. Docky is helping us out with our master plan. She's also helping us with our master plan for parks. We may ask her to entertain an idea of doing a master plan for the downtown area, to include the Centennial Plaza. And the other thing she's helping us out with, another thing that, she's also helping some of the grant that we're applying to the Texas Parks and Wildlife. So that's what she's working on. Before I forget, I didn't wanna, and I'll probably, these are the guys that, Ms. Miranda surprised me a little bit, but these are the guys that currently work for community development. There was no, to my knowledge, they're just here to kind of say hi, kind of, Ms. Miranda, you wanna make a quick introduction? Or?
Yeah, so I apologize, but part of my presentation as community development is I wanted the council to see the human side of who's behind the work that we do for parks, library, and not just a bunch of numbers when we present to you our budget and the requests that we make. So I wanted to introduce the right-of-way crew, if you'll stand up. And the right-of-way crew, we have 3, we're asking for an additional full-time. And then we have parks, if you'll stand up. These are our parks guys, these are the faces that you see behind the budget numbers. These are our workhorses. We have 1 crew leader, 3 parks, and we're asking for an additional full-time. And then we have library, Miss Sarah Duran, who's our library coordinator. And then we have building permits, if you'll stand. Miss Virginia Cuevas is our permit clerk. And then our part-time staff is Richard Lopez. We are asking for some increases in the pay because of the certifications that they're working hard to receive. Mr. Lopez would like to come on full-time, so you'll see that in our budget as well. And I'd like to go ahead and release them, but I wanted you all to see the human side. I apologize, this is my first time to do a budget before you all, so I did not know the process that you all go through. And I was out on sick leave Friday, so I didn't get to do my presentation.
Well, before you guys go, just know that the rest of us, don't forget Roger.
Oh, I'm sorry. I left out our facility maintenance guys. We have Mr. Roger Dodger and Dylan. And Dylan does, without pay, does part-time. And I know I call on him all the time, and so does Sarah. He is very tech savvy, so he helps us fix our computers. Thank you guys for.
We just want to tell you from behalf of the city and citizens, thank you guys. It's probably a thankless job a lot of times, and it's hot out there and all that, but we're grateful. City couldn't make it without you guys that are down there in the trenches making it happen. So all y'all, God bless y'all and thank you for what you do. We're grateful.
And y'all are welcome to stay, and you can make sure you punch out. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. Good idea.
She mentioned to me last time that
I didn't have
introduce himself.
I didn't quite have time to do a
Bye, guys.
presentation.
It is, so we'll again, yeah, that's part of them, of course, there's a lot of folks out there, the Hector's folks, they're all, we have a lot of good folks working for us. So the other one that you have is the other group that we need to work with is the Pearsall Chamber of Commerce. As the council knows, we funded them last year. We funded the Chamber of Commerce 40% of our hotel occupancy tax, is what we funded. I did speak to Mr. Rendon this past Saturday, and my understanding is they should be open, the building should be open this month, with the building, there's been some, I think I hope that they finally just worked out some of the things they needed to work on. We are scheduled to cut them another check, it'll be their second check this month. I've spoken to finance, they're aware that we do want to see their financials before we cut any other checks. We want to see what money's been spent, and we want to know, before we do that the money's being used to what we say it's going to be used for.
I would request that before cutting the check, we also see that building open.
Yes, sir. That may be another consideration. We're still waiting for that, to my knowledge. We're still waiting for them to provide the financials. I don't know that they have or not.
They needed some clarification on, I think, more advice on what we needed to see, so I was able to kind of give them some more information, bank statements, explanation of the charges. So hopefully, I've received some. Hopefully they'll give us more of a summary of all of that soon, before next week, I'm hoping, so we can get better clarification as to where they're at.
So you have, Robert Tejerina will be here next week, our financial advisor. He will be here next Tuesday for, again, an action item on the Business 35, the PISD, the county, the hospital. We need help, and we need cooperation and partnership, not just from us to them, but from them to us. It's both ways, right? This to me, this what I, since the time I've been here with the exception of COVID, this is gonna be a tough budget year. In the sense that, we are not asking for any utility increases. But as you can see from the staff, and again, they've done a pretty good job in requesting, there's more expenses than our revenues. There's more expenses than our revenues. And that's what we're required by statute to provide